Hey, everybody, and welcome in. It's the Poor Man Fantasy Football League podcast. We're the fantasy football show that gives you a peek inside the life and times of our Dynasty League. I'm your host, Mike. With me, as always, is my good friend, Andrew. And this week, it's week 2 of the new season of the 2026-2027 season. We're going over some additional trades and free agency moves that have happened since last week. We got some other things to talk about as we head up towards the real NFL rookie draft. It is Wednesday night, March 18th. Andrew, how you doing?
All right, I guess. And yourself?
Good. The folks at home don't know this, but they might figure it out as they watch the video. If they watch the video, this is an audio primarily podcast. Andrew has a wonderful background where there's a neon sign over his right shoulder, and there he goes. It says hello, except when he kind of like leans to the one side and then it just says hell. So Andrew is broadcasting from hell, and every
Blasphemy.
occasion it is blasphemy. Hell, 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 hell. Deep cut.
You're going to be in with Mr. with Ned Flanders.
Rod and Todd?
Yes.
Yeah, Rod and Todd.
But wasn't there an episode where he was actually the devil? Yeah, see, there you go. You'll be hanging out with Ned Flanders.
Hanging out with Ned Flanders.
At the Leftatorium.
Man, I haven't watched Simpsons, like the current Simpsons, probably in 5+ years, like years.
Probably 10 for me.
Okay, so the classic original Simpsons when we were kids, that was
good stuff.
That was the good stuff.
Now it's getting to be too politically correct.
I'd also like
to the
add,
point where they don't have like characters like Apu.
Sure. I think what's happening is they've existed for too long, and the people that are now writing the show aren't creative talents. They're just super fans that grew up watching the show that are now writing for the show, and they're trying to tell stories that have kind of already been told. Or
maybe.
It's like we watch Star Wars, and George Lucas created Star Wars because he was a fan of like samurai movies and westerns and dogfight battles. So when he created Star Wars, he drew on all of these things to create his world and his universe. And it's been around so long, and they're still making content, that the people that are making the content aren't really taking in some of their own like interests and hobbies and inspiration. They're just going back to what was already done and trying to refilter it and recycle it and pump it back out. And to me, that's kind of what The Simpsons is now.
Sure.
Is that it's been around for so long that the people writing it aren't creating new stuff. They're just recycling old stuff because they were fans and they want fan service, not trying to tell a new story, not trying to create. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyways, those are my thoughts. Alrighty. Well, today should be relatively quick tonight, boys and girls, because not a lot has happened, and what has happened isn't overly exciting.
No.
There has been 2 trades. The big trade is actually Jalen Waddle being traded to the Denver Broncos. Miami purges its not his last asset, but one of its best assets, leaving Devon Achane as the only viable fantasy option for Malik Willis.
Yeah, I don't even like the I don't even know if I like the fit.
Jalen Waddle to Denver?
Yeah. Is that really going to make an impact in Denver? Probably not.
I think it does. I don't know how big of an impact. I don't think I'm super excited
running out to try and get Jalen Waddle now.
No, I'd rather have Jalen Waddle in Miami with Malik Willis than having him competing in whatever's going on in Denver.
He's going to compete for the number 2 spot. He's not going to compete for the number 1.
Oh, I think he'll compete for the number 1 with Courtland Sutton, which is a top 24 pick, not a top 12 pick.
I don't know. Sutton, I think, is... Jalen Waddle's aging out, so I think
Sutton. You know what? I think Sutton... I'm going to say Sutton's older than Waddle. Let's look that up.
I don't think so.
Okay. Sutton. Boop.
them both come in the same year.
Would that be funny? Cortland Sutton, as the Cortland Sutton owner, Cortland Sutton is 30 years old. Now I'm going to go to Waddle. Waddle's probably 28.
So I thought Sutton was only about 27 or 28.
27. Waddle is 27.
Oh, well, okay. I stand corrected.
So you were right on the age for Waddle.
Unless you're Benjamin
Sutton was
Button.
younger. Right. Yeah. So Cutler and Sutton, Jalen Waddle, good combination. Waddle finishes wide receiver 23, and Sutton finishes wide receiver 11.
See, and in Miami, when Hill was healthy, he faded into the background. Is it going to happen again with Sutton, where he fades into the background because him and the quarterback already have chemistry together?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll have to see. But I just see him now competing for the number 2 spot, not necessarily being the top guy, getting back to a top 5 wide receiver again, if he was ever at a top 5. But
no, he was a good wide receiver, just not an elite wide receiver. All right. Well, it's interesting because I don't know why Miami would do that. You don't really have another name on the list.
They picked up a couple of
mediocre
guys.
They got a good draft haul for him. They got a first, a third, and a fourth.
But I wonder if it's a contract dump.
Maybe.
Because they turned around, they got Jalen Tolbert and Tutu Atwell, who are probably at league minimum.
Yep.
So maybe it was just a salary dump. And maybe in the first round they go after a wide receiver that they hope is going to be a future franchise player.
Maybe. Yeah, it's just really odd. But whatever, that's what happens. Things move. And then the other trade that occurred was the Jets traded quarterback Justin Fields to Kansas City to die on the bench. Die on the bench.
Here's the thing. If Mahomes isn't ready week 1,
which he's not, that's a late season injury.
Yes, it was. So if he's not ready to go, even in the first 3 weeks, at least Justin Fields can carry the team somewhat. I mean, they got a really good running back now. They have Travis Kelce. They who did they pick up as a wide receiver?
Did they pick up somebody?
I thought they did. Let me go to the Chiefs.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm not. To me, it's like, okay, with the writings on the wall, you're done. You're now a backup quarterback.
Yes.
You're not even going to be a bridge quarterback. You are done.
Essentially, yeah.
He'll get time only because Mahomes is injured.
Yeah.
And his start will be delayed. That's it.
Yeah, and with the wide receivers in Rice and Worthy and Traquan Thornton, I think, like I said, if Mahomes maybe isn't ready to go week 1 or even up to week 3, Justin Fields might be able to carry them to get them a 2-1 record.
Okay. Hopefully, right? That is the hope. He's not going to be the season-long starter, at least I hope not.
Well, unless Mahomes' injury is worse than they thought.
His recovery takes too long. Like that's the risk. All right. And then I guess one more trade occurred. It's pretty much irrelevant as well.
Yeah.
Panthers traded their backup quarterback, Andy Dalton, to Philly.
Well, I mean, he's filled in every time somebody's gotten hurt, so maybe they're hedging their bets that Jalen Hurts might get hurt this year.
They need a backup. You always want a quality backup. That's what Andy Dalton is now. He is a quality backup. He's no Joe Flacco, but
or Phillip Rivers.
No. I'd rather have Andy Dalton than Phillip Rivers, personally. Mm-hmm.
Phillip Rivers comes out of retirement again.
Yeah, no, I hope
Fitzpatrick.
Not. You know what? I'd rather have Ryan Fitzpatrick over Phillip Rivers.
Probably. Even today, probably.
Even today, yeah. If he got out of the broadcast booth and came down to the field to play, I'd rather have Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay, so those are the big trades that occurred. There are a couple signings here I want to blow through real quick. You've mentioned a couple. The Vikings did sign quarterback Kyler Murray to a 1-year deal with an interesting clause I just found out. He has a no tag clause. So it's 1 year and they can't tag him at
for
the end
next
of it.
year. And that's,
Yeah.
you know what? That's smart on his part to say,
And it's very
hey,
smart.
if I produce, you can't try and
You can't tag me. You've got to pay me.
Yeah. Or I
Yeah.
walk and get my money somewhere else. I guess the writing's on the wall for then JJ McCarthy.
Hey, put up or shut up, JJ. This is it.
Yeah, if they even keep him, and maybe he becomes the backup.
If Kyler Murray wins the job by week 1, they'll keep JJ, and depending on how their season is going, they'll either unload JJ by the trade deadline or in the offseason.
I guess maybe both of them are injury prone. Maybe they're thinking, when one goes down, the other can fill in, and then when that guy goes down, the other guy might be back again.
Ready to go. All right. Another interesting note that I heard on another fantasy football podcast is that rumor has it Kyler Murray wants to be the replacement for the Rams when Matthew Stafford leaves.
Well, that could be maybe why he signed just a 1-year deal.
A 1-year deal with a no tag because Matthew Stafford is expected to only make it through this season. So interesting. All right, other news. The Eagles signed tight end Dallas Goedert to a 1-year deal. And the Eagles also signed wide receiver Hollywood Brown to a 1-year deal. You're going to see a theme here, folks. 1-year deals are the it ticket right now because of you're now a week removed from open. Yeah. If you didn't sign in the first week, this is what you get. You get a 1-year deal. 49ers have signed wide receiver Christian Kirk to a 1-year deal, pretty much closing the door for a reunion with Juwan Jennings. Giants have signed wide receiver Darnell Mooney, which I do like. I think he'll make great second fiddle to Malik Neighbors to replace Wan'Dale Robinson on the field.
I agree.
And they also signed wide receiver Calvin Johnson to a 1-year deal.
Calvin Austin.
Not Calvin Johnson, not Megatron. Calvin Austin, the third, formerly with
Calvin
Pittsburgh.
Johnson from the neighborhood.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson. All right. Dolphins, you mentioned earlier, did sign Jalen Tolbert, 1-year deal. Tutu Atwell, 1-year deal. Chargers signed quarterback Trey Lance. It's a re-sign. He was there last year, so it's a 1-year deal.
Yeah, and that's still a smart thing because, what's his name? Got hurt last year, missed some time. So I could see Trey Lance being a decent fill-in for a week or two.
Yeah, total backup.
I couldn't see him last. Like, if there was a long-term injury, that team is just done. But
right. The Seahawks signed former Packers running back Emmanuel Wilson to a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter. It's a depth piece.
Yeah, I get that they lost Walker, so they're probably just trying to fill a spot. But yeah, that's not going to be.
I actually liked Emmanuel Wilson. He was really good as the backup to Josh Jacobs, but obviously didn't do enough to garner himself a longer-term contract.
Yeah.
And then the Commanders signed 2 running backs, one of them being Rachaad White to a 1-year deal, and then Jerome Ford to a 1-year deal, which are 2 signings.
Yeah, I think Rachaad White though kind of got the shaft there in Tampa Bay.
Well, he got replaced by a better running back.
He did, but it wasn't. He really didn't get a chance to compete after that to show. No. This was my job, and I should still have it. But they're both going into again a busy backfield.
So the 3 guys that are currently there, White, Ford, and Krosky, Merritt. Those are the 3 guys that are going to compete, and we still got the draft to come. So I'm not really excited about
the Commanders.
These
running
guys
game
at
is
the
not
moment.
Going to be.
Not
which one would you start each week? This is where you don't want the handcuffs.
No, because they're not the good kind of handcuffs here. Yeah, it sucks. And
not any one of these signings, other than Kyler Murray, none of these signings scream, hey, I need to go out and get some shares of it. Kyler Murray is still even
Okay. I agreed with you up until the point where came out. I think Kyler Murray going to the Vikings is a great move for the Vikings because they seem to get good play out of quarterbacks not named JJ McCarthy.
Yes. But do I think it's the Kyler Murray of 4 years ago who was running all over the place and getting a bazillion yards? No, he's not.
I want 500.
500 rushing yards out of him?
No, I want 500 win percentage out of Kyler Murray. Win half of your games. That's the Kyler Murray I want. I want middle of the field. If you've got 32 starting quarterbacks, I want the quarterback that sits at the 15, 16, 17 mark for Kyler Murray. That's the version of Kyler Murray that I want because I think
that's fair.
I think that's the top end for Kyler Murry. I don't think he has higher than that aspirations.
And that's why I kind of went, meh.
Yeah.
He can he's either going to have a great year, kind of like Sam Darnold did there.
Sure.
Like the change in the environment. Maybe it's because they're playing in a dome with a decent field, and maybe it's something there. And like you said, they get good work out of their quarterbacks other than JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. They got good weapons. They have a good coach that works with the players that he has. He doesn't try and fit them into a system. He builds the system around the players. And if that's the case, I think he's got some great weapons to make a reality. We will find out if Kyler Murray is a good quarterback or if he is just a future backup. We will find that out this year. No? You don't think so?
Oh, yeah. No.
Okay.
I think my garage door just opened.
That's a little early. Girls shouldn't be coming home from dance just yet.
They must have got canceled at dance.
No, man, it got rained out.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Well, that's it for the news and notes. The mock drafts are flying high. If you guys haven't had a chance to go out there onto the interwebs and see who is building these mock drafts, they're out there. The NFL Network's got a dozen, ESPN, CBS, they're out there. There's not a lot of fantasy talent, boys, going in the first round this year. There is mostly defense, a lot of offensive tackles, a lot of like offensive linemen. Sorry. So the top prospect on everybody's board is running back Jeremiah Love. There's a handful of wide receivers, typically 3, that generally make the first round from the 15 point on, right? So the last half of the first round. Then there's like another tier of wide receivers, and then there's one running back. I can't remember his first name, but last name is Price. So these are the guys that are talked about. So not a lot of depth this year, which is like, okay, if this is what the analysts are seeing, this is what they're projecting. Like, obviously there's diamonds in the rough. Guys don't work out, and there's some guys that shine that we completely whiffed on. So it could make for an interesting draft. Now, I understand this Jeremiah Love. I haven't watched any tape, but I've heard a lot of conversations about him. Regardless of what year he'd be drafted, it sounds like he's going to be a top 5 selection in regardless, right? So if he's going head-to-head against Bijan, if he's going head-to-head against whoever else has been drafted like highly, like this is a guy who could go really high, which is kind of exciting that's there. And then the 3 receivers, depending on landing spot, right? Situation. Where do they go? Are they going to get into a situation where they're competing? Are they going to have a spot right out of the gate? Yeah, it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to see what comes out of the draft. But this is where we as fantasy managers get to build our totally obscure views of what we think is going to happen and what we like, what we don't like. Now, Andrew, you presented a question, a thought on a possible trade. If you had the 101, and right now it looks like Jeremiah Love, regardless of what team he goes to, would be the selection. Kind of reminds me of the year that it was. I'm sorry, I just completely blanked. It was like Bijan or bust, or was it
possibly guy from the Jets?
Breece Hall,
where Donnie was going crazy for.
He traded a lot to go get Breece Hall, move things around. Or maybe it was the N'Keal Harry year. N'Keal Harry and Josh Jacobs. Do you remember that? So like you kind of get a view of what we think the first overall pick is, and it seems very clearly right now, as of today, that Jeremiah Love is that first pick. So the question is, if you had the 101, aka Jeremiah Love, running back for a team, what would it be worth in trade compensation in a dynasty setting?
Okay, so I'm just going to go. I'm going to go into. Come on, I'm going to sleeper here. I'm going to go poor man. I'm going to do a mock draft.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, look at that. Mock drafts. Practice drafting.
How do I...
Oh, wow. Okay, so I just did a mock draft. Jeremiah Love went first.
Okay.
Lemon?
How do I change to just rookies?
If you do a mock draft, it should be just rookies.
Oh, because it came up with... This is a draft for...
Oh, you're doing like a whole new draft for a league?
Yeah, that's what it was brought me up to. Draft settings, there we go. We are PPR. We're Dynasty. Rookies only, there we go.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear this, but okay. So just doing my mock draft. Let's see, what did that guy do? Jeremiah Love went first, then wide receiver Lemon, then Tate, then Tyson, then this Coleman. I don't know who Coleman is. Well, I can hear you drafting. Click, click, click. And then Boston, then Conception, then tight end Sadiq went 108.
Okay, sorry, what did you have? You had Love?
I had Love, Lemon, Tate, Tyson.
Okay.
Then I went to a running back by the last name Coleman. Then in the 6th spot, I went Boston, then Conception. And then I went to a tight end in Sadiq. Then it was me, and I selected that running back Price as next man up. Then I went Bell at 10, and then back to the beginning. It was another running back in Johnson, tight end in Stowers. Then running back Singleton, wide receiver Surratt, wide receiver Bernard, wide receiver Cooper, wide receiver Bell, wide receiver Lane. Now I'm back on the clock, staring down Zachariah Branch, wide receiver, Chris Brazel, wide receiver, and then running back Katron Allen. I like that name, Katron. I have to keep an eye on that guy, Katron Allen. This is a cool name. And okay, cool, right? So I'll take, before I take it and running back, I'll go wide receiver. I'm going to go Zachariah Branch. Take him, bloop, 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 and then it just starts blowing through. Mendoza goes here in the 3rd round. That's the first quarterback. Another tight end in Endries. Oh, just forced picked. Claire Simpson. Simpson is the next quarterback to go. I'm in the 4th round here. A couple more tight ends. Yeah. So I don't really know any of these names. Not really sure. But when you did your draft, what was the first 2 rounds? What did they look like?
So it went Love, Lemon, Tate, Tyson, Coleman, Boston,
Conception,
Sadiq, Bell, Price, and then Johnson, Singleton, Bell, Stowers, Scarrett, Cooper, Bernard, Branch, Brazel, Allen.
Okay, so the 2nd round we saw some deviation, but the 1st round was pretty consistent.
Pretty much, yeah. So really, if I was the offer that somebody was making was 101 for 104 and first next year. So I'd be giving up Love to get this Tyson guy.
Tyson, right? So in theory, you'd be landing this Tyson individual, and who knows what the pick could be next year.
Yeah, correct. Depending on where the person finished in the draft. So.
And how are you feeling about that? Do you feel like that?
I've been flip-flopping back and forth on it.
Yeah,
I really have. Because I'm not going to say what league it's in because I don't want to say who the person is. But the like you said earlier, the draft isn't so exciting this year that, hey, you got like 10 guys that are going to be really good. So the first round could, if you had any of the ones 1 through 10, you're going to get a decent pick. You're only getting 1 or 2 really decent people.
So here's what Keep Trade Cut is telling us. So the 101 in a non-superflex, so like our format. So if you have the 101 and you were offered the 104, as long as it is a mid 2027, does it work for late? Yeah. So any 2027 first, whether it's an early, mid, or late, the deal favors the person getting the 2 firsts, according to keep Trade Cut.
Yeah, because realistically, what it does for me next year's gives me 2 first rounders.
Right. That could be anywhere on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Right. So then the question comes down to, if it looks like it's a fair deal, and it's according to keep Trade Cut, that is a fair and balanced. It favors you getting the 2 first versus. So the question comes down to team needs.
Correct.
Right now you have the 101, which could land you a potential starting running back versus the mystery of the 104 and next
which will
year,
probably
right?
be a wide receiver.
Okay, so 104, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to give up a running back, a year 1 starting running back, for a wide receiver and a mystery pick next year. What does your team need? What are your biggest needs? Because it's either going to be running back or it's going to be wide receiver.
Obviously, I was 101, so I need lots.
You need lots, but you could have good running backs, like good young running backs, and just not have enough wide receiver depth. You could have good wide receivers and not a running back to lean on. So team construction.
Yeah.
Which way is it gonna
I
go?
probably need the wide receivers more than the running back.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So now this is really like, if we're doing like a pros and cons list, analytics is saying, yeah, it's a good deal. Your team construction says that, hey, look, I can afford to lose a running back and instead get a shot at possibly 2 wide receivers now, 1 this year, 1 next year, plus whatever you pick. Right? You have 3. You would then have 3 picks to work with. 1 an extra, 1 this year, and then the 2 next year.
Yeah, that's the most attractive part of it, is that it's basically a 3 for 1.
Well, it's not a 3 for 1 because you already have the other one.
Well, yeah, but I end up 3 first rounders,
and instead of having 2 first rounders.
Yeah, so I guess 2 for 1. I guess, yeah.
Okay. So if you're happy with the deal, what reservations do you have? Because I think it's interesting to just to talk and like talk it through, to kind of share what we all experience in the highs and lows of, do I not, do I risk it, do I not risk it, or
mostly because I haven't done any homework on the draft yet.
Fair enough.
Like, I really don't know anything about
any of these guys,
the top 10 guys. Like, I haven't had any time since the season ended, or even since college ended, to think about anything. So,
okay, so let's just see. Fantasy Pros is the first one that came up with regards to their rankings. I want to see prospect ranking. Okay, so here's what they've got. Oh, don't give me... They included defensive players. Okay, so how do I... do ranks, notes, latest... Okay, so I'll just have to break this down. So the number 1 selection overall is Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. Then Fernando Mendoza is ranked number 4 overall. But we're a single quarterback league, so again, 3rd round is kind of where I expect him to see him go. Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. They do produce wide receivers. He is he's number 5 on the list. Then it goes down to Ty Simpson out of Alabama, quarterback. Then we move down to number 14, Mekhi Lemon out of USC. So from 5th to 14th, almost 10 spots is where wide receiver 2 is. Then we hit wide receiver 3 down at 21. That's Jordan Tyson. So that's the guy that you'd be eyeing currently. So he's number 25 on the list overall. Wide receiver 3. Oh wow. Right after that is Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon. They do produce tight ends out of Oregon. He's ranked number 23.
I mean, that's a possibility too. And again, it depends on where these guys go too.
Yeah, you don't know the landing spots yet, right?
Yeah,
that's an even bigger gamble. Like you could
holy cow, if that wide receiver ends up going to like somewhere like Green Bay, who always carries 5 or 6 wide receivers.
Yeah, then it's like I don't want to make that selection. That to me that would push him down the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like this, I guess that's the challenge of doing this so early is the gamble is higher because there's so many variables you don't know the answer to.
Well, and all of these guys may move spots between now and the draft.
I think for them to move spots is really going to come down to do they do something illegal and get caught between now and draft day? And then what happens to them on draft day, which team they go to and where they get drafted, first round, second round, third round. Yeah. Oh, it's tough. It's tough, man. So right now you're wishy-washy, sit on the fence, still on the fence. You're playing the Canadian.
Yeah.
Sitting on the fence.
I'm Switzerland. I'm in the middle.
In the middle. Which side you going to join, Switzerland? Cool.
I'm neutral.
Neutral.
But it's a good thing the person that sent it didn't have like a deadline. But because it's probably that trade offer has been there for like 3 weeks.
Okay, so this is like, hey, look, I want this now.
And if you're listening out there, it's not that I've ghosted you. I just haven't had time to.
Obviously, you intrigued him. He's thinking about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't have any trade offers. I did have one. I didn't like it. I rejected it. It was not. It wasn't a good looking trade. But it wasn't for like big name pieces, right? It was. Yeah. All right.
Supporting cast
members. That's about the best way to describe it because it was really just for some. I don't know. They could do something. It could be like swapping like Darnell Mooney for Hollywood Brown, right? No, I'm good, man. So to me, when I see players like that with picks involved, like a third and a fourth, I think it's really you're just trying to improve upon you're trying to move
backups.
your fourth. yeah. You're trying to make your 4th round pick into a 3rd round pick, right? You're trying to move up. Yeah. That's kind of how I see that. And I get it, but nobody I was really excited about. All right. Well, hey guys, that's it for us this week. What I do have planned for the weeks to come is we've got some things coming up where we're going to be doing top 5, bottom 5. We did it last year. We're going to do some analysis of the quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight end positions by the divisions. We're going to have a look at what we think those are going to look like, the values that they are, like teams that we think are going to be needy for quarterbacks, tight ends, running backs, that kind of situation. Now that free agency is kind of cooled down, the next big hit is going to come when the draft hits. And that draft happens on April 23rd. Yeah, end of April. So we've got between now and the end of April to bang out some interesting ideas on the quarterback situations and the position reviews between now and then. And then once that draft hits, it's going to shake everything up.
Then we got a month to
our draft.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we're all going to be sweating and like, okay, we got to get this going. I like that it's scheduled.
I predict in the 4 leagues that we're in, 3 of the 4, somebody is going to say, let's start early. Can we start early?
Oh, man. I can appreciate guys wanting to. I'm just very happy that we don't. We have a scheduled date. That is the date. Donnie is great because he books all of his leagues and the drafts on the same day at the same time, so we can just do it. And then even when we do start early, not everybody is attentive, and it still takes a week.
Yes, but I also, I'm not opposed to, like, I've seen some people do their drafts late August. So you see guys, if guys get hurt in camp,
Yeah, big deal.
a guy
Then you can actually make moves.
a guy has a season-ending injury in camp, and now you got to pivot. Oh, this rookie has stepped up and filled that spot.
The
Maybe I'll
7th
draft
round
him.
rookie finally rises to the surface. Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, things will start rolling.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Thank you very much for listening and enjoying the show with us. We're going to be putting out some feelers here in the next little bit as well, looking to get you guys slotted in to join us on the show, talking some trash, talking some daily life stuff, and a lot of football. So stay tuned to your DMs as we start putting this together. And remember, from one poor man to another, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. Good night, everybody.
Have a great week, everybody.